Well, he was born Stephen Glover, but became a household name as Steve-O.
Jackass simply took off. Hard to imagine now. That first season aired 15 years ago.
I know, that is amazing. But he's doing stand-up in Omaha this week. Steve-O, good to see you, buddy.
Nice to have
What's
you
up,
here.
man? Hey,
well, thank you.
Can we address this right away?
Sure,
You're known for this smile, right? People just love that smile. And there's a little portion of it missing right now. What happened here, Steve-O?
You know, I broke the root of a tooth like 10 years ago. And it took that long for the dentist to say it's got to come out. Right. I wish I had a better story.
What was the stunt? What was it, the stunt?
I was playing the black eye game with a guy in a wheelchair. So like we took turns holding our fists. We were sitting in wheelchairs and holding our fists out. So I wheeled myself as fast as I could. I'm going really, really fast into the guy's fist, and it broke off the root of my tooth.
Ouch.
No.
Yeah.
But it's kind of cool. Like, I'm a maniac. I do wild stuff. Yeah. And so why wouldn't I be missing teeth?
How many injuries have you had over the years?
I mean, there's no way to put
How many broken bones?
My worst injury, in one go, I broke 7 teeth. I had 10 stitches in my chin, a broken cheekbone.
What was that stunt?
A concussion and a broken wrist.
Wow.
I threw myself off of a balcony at a keg party at the University of Miami.
And you guys weren't filming at this time?
Right, that was back in 1995.
Oh, that was before all the stunts.
Yeah, I was an idiot back then.
Like, you found your calling in the world. You know, like, to be able to do, like, the series, obviously, on MTV, which was huge, and then the movies, like, this whole franchise, and who knows how many people you've inspired that are making videos now trying to be stars on YouTube.
I don't know if that's a good
thing. Who
thing.
knows how many hospital bills I'm responsible for.
But did you guys go to college with this guy? Hey, Stephen Glover will do it. Steve, do it, buddy.
No, that was how I got my nickname Steve-O, was just because it was always at keg parties and everybody was drunk and I'd be doing something crazy and they'd be screaming, Steve-O! You know, because everyone's just drunk screaming Steve-O.
Right. What's your most memorable stunt?
Oh, I mean, I don't know. Like, at the risk of sounding self-important, there's just too many to choose from. I think maybe the fish hook through my face is a big one. My back tattoo is kind of iconic.
That's you, right? But don't you have a tattoo that
says... Did I get to show it properly?
But you did. Good. But don't you have a tattoo that says your name?
That's right, on your butt. I have your name exactly the way
it's Y-O-U-R-N-A-M-E.
Yeah, that's how you win a bar bet. I have your name tattooed on my butt.
Right.
Like, no, you don't. Yep, exactly the same way you spell your name tattooed on my butt. I'll bet you.
And then you show it to him, right?
Right.
Have you ever declined to do something?
Sure. Yeah, I have 2 answers for this. Okay. One's like serious, it's not that funny. Like I refused to be duct taped to a mechanical bull. Because at a certain point, you got to fall off that thing, and if you're taped to it, you're bound to get paralyzed. Yeah. Which isn't funny.
No.
The number of things you've done that have that same risk, though, that you said yes to.
Right, but I try to be a little bit calculated in how I pick my battles, and that one wasn't worth it, you know.
So what was the second one?
The second one was years ago. They had all these dating shows on the VH1 network, like Rock of Love with Bret Michaels and Flavor of Love.
Flavor Flav, yeah, no, of course.
Right, and they asked me to do that there was going to be like the same format of dating show.
You're the guy. You're the star of the show.
Right, and I didn't even have to think about it. I said, there's no way I'm letting 30 chicks tell the whole world how unimpressive I am. See, that one's funny.
That's good. That's good.
Like, that is so dumb. You wouldn't do that. And everything else is because of, like, you have stapled your private parts to things. The number of times you've been slingshotted
Were you crazy as a kid? I've got a crazy 5-year-old. I worry that he's going to hurt himself.
I was more like, as a kid, I was more sad than crazy. Like
I'm sorry if I took this somewhere where we don't.
No, it's fine. It's fine. I was just saying, because an attention whore. I had a report card from 6th grade where the teacher said, Stephen so desperately wants the affection and approval of his peers, but everything he does to try to win that has the opposite effect. I was trying too hard, and I was just bouncing off the walls, and it was more sad than funny, you know. But it wound up working out okay in the end.
Sure did. Well, no, because you started making these videos at 15, and then the people in charge, when they were launching Jackass, they got some of your work, and they were like, awesome. Let's put this group of guys together. What were you expecting back then? I mean, you couldn't have predicted the success you would have seen.
Right. I mean, that's sort of a condensed version. I was making videos and I was trying to, like, I was in skateboard videos, and there wasn't much of a future there. I wanted to be a stuntman, and I found out about Ringling Brothers and Barnum and Bailey Clown College, which was really exclusive. It was typical.
And what you tried to get into?
I did, yeah. It was harder to get into than Harvard, statistically speaking, but I got in, and I had a career as a circus clown. But I never put down my video camera, and I always kept doing my stupid stunts. And ultimately, it worked out. I got, to be a part of Jackass. And now, like, I still do silly stunts, and I love the intro, by the way. Thank you. But yeah, I got into doing comedy. I had my own
What
comedy
are your live
special.
shows like? If you're doing stand-up now, are you incorporating stunts into it?
I do, but not as much. I have my first comedy special airing on Showtime on March 18th. It's so exciting.
March 18th, it's coming out. Is this your first one you've ever done?
My first comedy special, yeah.
Congratulations.
And so yeah, that's on March 18th. Like the show this weekend is I will be doing some stunts in the show. Yeah, there's definitely like physical stuff.
Well, it's gonna be hard for people to get in because you're sold out except for tonight at 9:45.
Yeah.
And Sunday. They just added a show on Sunday.
Right, yeah, I sold out all my shows before I got here.
We're going to show this, but I want to touch on something else while people take a look at this. Your love life has taken a turn recently, right? There's a little spark in your love life now. What's going on with that?
I got back together with my girl Kat, who I've loved for so long. We were together in like almost 10 years ago. We were together, but neither of us were sober, and I just would promise her I'm not going to do drugs anymore. I blew it. I blew it big time. And now, like, Kat's been sober for over 8 years. I'm coming up on 8 years. We're both vegan, super like animal, like animal lovers and animal activists.
Yeah.
And we both meditate. Like, we really like a lot of our lifestyle is super aligned. And yeah, and so we've been friends for so long, and I don't know.
You're in a good place now.
It's awesome.
Yeah, at a certain point recently, I was doing this podcast, and they said, "Okay, we ask everybody this. You're the last guy in the world, and it's up to you to reproduce. You can reproduce with any woman you want. Who are you going to do?" And I remember thinking, because it's Kat, but I don't want to like say this, and then it's going to be like a tabloid story.
Right, on the news.
It's inconvenient for her. So I started saying like, "Oh well, Maria Menounos is really hot." And I was like, I just felt like I was lying. Right. I was like, you know what? It's Kat. It's Kat. And I told him all about it, and then I felt like I needed to text her to alert her to possible annoying tabloid stories that might be inconvenient, and also just kind of wanted to tell her. And so I told her about it, and she said, "Wait a second, Are you being serious? Because I'm smiling so much right now." And she's like, "Why didn't you tell me sooner?" And
that's great.
We gotta go. We could talk to you all day.
Check them out at the Funny Bone. Tickets are gonna be gone in the next couple hours. Steve-O's as genuine as they come. Thanks for coming.
Really great to meet you.
Thanks, buddy.
Thank you so much.
All right, coming up.